about to hear from a very special guest, Mr.
Yeah, hello everyone, I'm Denis Manzer, and it's an honor to be sitting here getting interviewed by Malcolm.
Yeah, right on. Okay, well, if you have tuned into any previous Light Cellar videos, I'm often behind the camera with this guy. We do a lot together here. He's definitely been one of the longest running dudes, fun guys here at Light Cellar, and together each year, both myself and Denis bring together the Mushroom Symposium. And so we're going to talk to Denis about his journey with fungi and why he continues to work with them, explore them, teach about them, get to the depths of that love, that passion. Then we'll hear a little bit about your presentation coming up for the symposium. But I think if we could, summarize this, I think a fair statement would be mushrooms have changed your life, haven't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cool. What was your first fungi moment?
Yeah, well, it's a long story, but about 11 years ago, before I started working at Light Cellar, I was working at Planet Organic in Varsity here in Calgary, and they had this supplement called the Mushroom of Immortality pills. It was literally $80 for about 12 caps of reishi mushroom powder.
Yeah.
And I was so intrigued. I was like, I kind of want to try this. But at the time I was in university, I was living, pretty, strictly. I really couldn't afford that $80 for 12 caps of immortality mushrooms. But at that time I heard about Light Cellar, and sure enough I came down, and for only $12 Malcolm had these big bags of actual reishi mushroom slices. So I remember my very first visit to Light Cellar, I came and I picked up one of those bags of mushrooms, started making tea for myself at home, and
the rest is history.
Yeah, it was my very first visit to Light Cellar.
Cool. Yeah, and I remember I've heard this story before, and you've shared some of those kind of first immediate results that you got from reishi, in particular being a student.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So I was in university at the time, and one of the things I really noticed when I started taking these mushrooms was on the immunity side of things. When you're in university, it's like this rhythmic, how should I put it? Getting, it's this rhythm of, you have midterms. That's right. The first really stressful time. So I would always, in my first 3 or 4 semesters I was at university, like clockwork, I would get a cold right after midterms.
Right. Yeah.
So the extreme stress of the exams, all at once. You got to study for 5 exams in 1 week, and it's rough, and you do your best, but sure enough, I'd be sick for like a week, and then final exams would come, and that's another whole story, because at the same time as final exams, all your papers are due. So you'd have 5 papers due, 5 exams to study for, and I'd be up all night every night studying and get completely taken out by really bad cold for almost the entire Christmas break,
Yeah, you spent all that time off recovering, right?
Yeah, so
yeah,
it was like clockwork, semester after semester, like this rhythm of stress and compromised immunity.
Yeah.
And so eventually, and that's the first thing I started noticing when I started taking the mushrooms. It's like, wow.
Just broke that cycle, eh?
Not only am I not stressed, it was so interesting. I was like, wow, all of a sudden I'm not stressed about my exams. Mm-hmm. I'm calm. And I'm not getting a cold. All of a sudden, and I'm drinking this reishi tea with a lot of ginger and honey. That's
nice combo.
That's what I started doing. And my grades started improving.
Right.
Because not only was I not sick, so I could attend classes, it seemed to be like my memory was incredibly enhanced. Like,
right. And more relaxed, you can focus more, you can concentrate, all this stuff. It's amazing. I know you were a diligent student, weren't you?
Well, yeah, I mean, oh yeah. I mean...
And then mushrooms just kind of took it over the edge for you there.
It was a very noticeable difference. Like, I remember, like, so one of the first things I splurged on when I started working at Light Cellar, so I started working at Light Cellar when I was still in university. One of the first things I splurged on was a bottle of reishi tincture from Daniel Vitalis.
Yeah,
Surthrival reishi. It was like a $75 tincture. Mm-hmm. I drank it all in one night while I was studying for this exam. And I finished the bottle off right as I was hopping off the train, right as I was going to my exam. Finished the bottle of reishi, and I just remember just walking down, the little sidewalk of university, so happy.
Right.
I'm like going to university, going to my final exams, and I was happy, and people are turning around and looking at me. What's wrong with that guy? They're like,
yeah.
they were even like, they could even sense that, like, they could even sense this happiness. Like, they were walking ahead of me, and they would turn around, be like, what's going on? It's a happy guy just walking up going to his exam.
Yeah.
It's unheard of, actually. It's actually unheard of. And as soon as I started taking that reishi, like, my grades, like in my final 2 semesters, I was a straight A student. Like,
amazing. Yeah.
Which before that, get some A's and some B's, and then sure enough, there's a couple courses you can't give your full attention to. So,
yeah.
And that's stressful. Even that's stressful, like, they just put so much on your plate, hey, Malcolm, like, so much to prepare you for the real world, but...
Well, you took a much more academic course than I did. I've got a jazz music degree, and you've got a political science degree, so you were a step higher than I was in that regard. I mean, the music was intensive, but, it wasn't poli-sci. But anyways, mushrooms for the win. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. So, here we are. This is, 10, 11 years later, and you're still big into the mushrooms, co-founder and host of the Medicinal Mushroom Symposium. What is it about mushrooms, and why the symposium? Why do you continue to put your effort into this event every year? What do you get out of it? What do you see others who participate and experience? What do they get out of it?
Yes, well, as you know, part of our job at Light Cellar here is it's all about mycelial connections. We've been building these amazing connections over the years with all these amazing, very knowledgeable people.
Yeah.
So I saw that, wow, we could create an event all about medicinal mushrooms, and it's probably one of the most important things to be discussing right now. As a people, as a humanity, as a society, as a culture, these mushrooms are literally, I can see a golden future for humanity, Malcolm.
Yeah.
And it involves people just taking their mushrooms. And as technology improves for cultivation, it's becoming more available to us. This is happening in a blink of an eye. Literally, 50 years ago, cordyceps mushroom was the most expensive herb on planet Earth.
Yeah.
$10,000 for a pound of cordyceps mushroom. Now for $18, we can get the same quantity of cordyceps.
Yeah, with the same or more active chemical constituents. And then, you even mentioned, like, okay, 11, 12 years ago, Planet Organic had one little thing for $80, 12 caps. My store was full of things too, but that was about it, right? And now, like, just in that short amount of time, just this explosion of not only kind of diversity, access to the number of different mushrooms, but now, like it's all being like locally grown or locally extracted or wild harvested, like just in that short amount of time, how much it's grown.
And, one of the reasons that it's so important to have this conversation with people is because of how many people actually show up to the light cellar and they're having memory problems, they're having stress problems, they're having immunity problems, and it seems like every single person needs medicinal mushrooms.
Totally, yeah, and obviously there's a check-in to see if that's true, but
and they're actually here. They're here on purpose because they want that.
Right.
Like so many people walk into our doors just to get lion's mane mushroom.
Right. Reishi or chaga, whatever it is, 9.5 times.
Turkey tail.
I was talking with a guy yesterday, just had come in. He's like, "Oh, what do you recommend? I'm new to everything in here. What's a couple things I could add in?" The first was like, "All right, mushrooms. Like if you're not on mushrooms, this is a great. It's a whole kingdom unto itself. In category of herbal and nutritional support that one can just easily add in, right? Be it tinctures, be it like boom into your coffee, whatever it is, and those benefits are there. People feel it, they experience it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. All right, well, you've talked a little bit about our next topic, just kind of foreshadowing it here, this idea of mushrooms for memory. And I would say, as you mentioned, lion's mane is the particular medicinal mushroom that is most renowned, most known for supporting the brain, the nervous system, and everything that entails. And yet, mushrooms all around can have benefits that way. So your talk for the Medicinal Mushroom Symposium is titled?
Mushrooms for Memory, Lion's Mane and Beyond.
Yes.
Because it's not just lion's mane that has traditionally been treasured as a memory tonic.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about all the medicinal mushrooms, in fact. Something that unites them all is their ability to relieve stress. And we're going to be talking about how that works. What are the actions biologically when we ingest these very cool and neat organisms? Something happens, it's actually like a chain reaction of benefits, hey Malcolm? Mm-hmm. There's the stress relief. All of a sudden you have, when you don't stress as much, you have way more juice for your other glands in your body, including your brain. Mm-hmm. So hormonal secretions are increased in other parts of your body. Because when you stress out, hey Malcolm, your body steals from your other glands to create stress hormones.
Right.
So
it's similar to like, you eat a hot, giant, heavy meal. All your energy goes to digestion. It just kind of pulls everything down. When you're in that stress, like fight or flight, whether it's real or imagined, your body's just pulling to, deal with that emergency.
Yeah. So we'll be talking about exactly how that works. And then we're going to go into so all medicinal mushrooms are good for memory. But then we're going to go into the specific different ones that are famous. So lion's mane, of course, is there's legends about this guy here. I actually brought this guy out for the camera.
Yeah,
you can see this guy. He's the Chinese god of herbalism. He's one of the 8 immortals. And he has a giant brain, like a giant cranium. And he was known to always actually enjoy eating reishi mushroom. He's very famous. His staff in many artworks is depicted as having a big reishi on the staff, actually. And he also really enjoyed lion's mane mushroom. So lion's mane, of course, is known to generate the growth of brain cells, eh, Malcolm?
Yeah.
So my theory is that this guy is not an alien. He just ate so much lion's mane that his brain grew to be huge. He just had a lot. That's a lot of lion's mane, and I don't know what's going on here, but working on it.
You're getting there.
Working on it. So we're gonna in the class we're gonna go deep into some of the actual folklore and traditions of like different cultures that treasure these mushrooms.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating. We're gonna be talking about cordyceps. It's more than just about cordyceps, Malcolm.
There's a whole lot going on with that one,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Cool. Well, give us a little tidbit. I know you brought this book out just as kind of a reference. So this is by one of our favorite people and authors. You talk about having, building this mycelial community and connections. Robert Rogers. He is the most published man that I know for sure. He's up to 61 books, numerous books on the medicinal mushrooms and all the science and research. And
this book is, I think everyone should read this book in this day and age. I mean, how many people, Malcolm, do you know who know someone that have memory problems?
Right.
It's like literally it's
Yeah.
not just old people anymore. It's young people too.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild out there. Attention deficit disorder, for example. Mm-hmm. When you are thinking about all these things outside of the present moment, that's when you're not going to remember what's happening right now. You're thinking about I don't know what's on your mind all the time, Malcolm. You're thinking about
Wild foraging mushrooms.
yeah, I wish I wasn't here right now. I wish I was in the forest.
Sorry, what are you talking about? Nope. Yeah.
You're thinking about whatever. I got this big project due on Friday, and I'm just like, you're not here in now. You're not gonna remember that. So that's what the mushrooms do. Actually, they help really bring you into the present moment, and really, when you're here and now, you're gonna remember that. So I really noticed that when I was studying, Malcolm. Like, all of a sudden, my mind wasn't wandering, and I guess I'm kind of famous around here for being able to remember
names.
people's names.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you spend a long time on the floor, connecting with people, helping them, and learning their names, creating those connections.
Yeah, so I don't know how much more I want to get into this, Malcolm, without giving away too many secrets of workshop, but no, it's going to be so fun.
Yeah, you've got a whole 45-minute presentation. You're one of 10 presentations that'll be happening the week of March 20th to 24th. Every single night. It's an online experience because our experts, we're pulling from all around the world. We're going to have from Edmonton, from Vancouver Island, from down in the States, of course, a couple local presenters as well. And absolutely stoked for this Medicinal Mushroom Symposium. It's third one that we've done in a row. We've done previous ones in the past in different formats, but we're loving the format, the flow of how this is going. So if you are interested in joining us, we'd love to have you. It's going to be March 20th to 24th. Again, the format is 7 p.m., 8 p.m., each presentation starting per night. So it'll be 10 sessions, deep dives on a whole diversity of topics, related to fungi from a number of different voices.
And we did this for people's memory as well. We wanted each night to be digestible.
Yeah, exactly. Not getting overwhelmed from 8 hours straight kind of a thing. Well, I guess it'd be 10 hours straight.
Yeah, but you will get all the recordings as well. So I know people still tell me they rewatched last year's one over and over again.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll have the recordings for as long as the internet lives. Yeah, that's but if you enhance your memory with these mushrooms, you'll have it forever up here.
All right, cool. Yeah, any kind of final parting words you want to leave the audience with related to fungi, medicinal mushrooms?
Yeah, well, right now we do have an Instagram contest going. Hey, Malcolm.
That's right, just launched it.
So this is on the Light Sellers Instagram. You can go enter there, and you just got to follow the Medicinal Mushroom Symposium, leave a comment on the post, and with tagging one of your friends. So each tag counts as an entry, unlimited entries. So yeah, go ahead and try to win a ticket. I think we're going to on Sunday announce the winners with random number generation. So there's actually a few chances to win. You can actually enter on the Light Sellers Instagram. You can also enter on the Medicinal Mushroom Symposium Instagram itself. There's a post there with the contest. Actually, on my own Instagram too, Denis Manzer. So,
cool.
And I think a lot of our other presenters are gonna start doing some giveaways too.
Yeah. All
So
right.
check them out.
Cool. Well, there's only a few that are going to win, but anyone can attend. If you want to join us, go to lightseller.ca. You can see the full schedule, all the details. Registration is right there. We're going to kick this off in just a couple of weeks. So thanks for joining us, Denis, sharing your story and that wisdom. And we'll see everybody on the 20th. Bye for now.